Now, we got someone else there to talk to? Okay. Here we do get phone calls. Okay.
Yep.
Who have we got here now?
Uh,
Hello? Hello, can you hear me?
yes, here I am. Can you hear me?
I sure can.
Oh, I'm going to turn the volume down on my computer.
Okay.
I sent you an email regarding a U.S. home and tax services, if my email is in front of you there.
I've got it actually under a book. Tell me the circumstance, and so I'm not cheating.
Okay. I'm going to pretty much, read.
Are you the lady in Manitoba?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Okay.
I got to ask you, where are you in Manitoba?
In Winnipeg.
In Winnipeg, because I grew up in Winnipeg for 15 years and lived in Fort Garry and Charleswood and River Heights and out in Notre Dame, and I lived all over Winnipeg.
No, I'm just getting to know the place. It's really a nice city, very different from what I'm used to.
And where's the other place, in Oklahoma?
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City,
Yeah.
another fine place.
Well, a brief summary is that I'm a 60-year-old widow, Canadian, and I have a green card for the U.S. since 1984. And I moved back to Canada about 60 days ago to retire. And I didn't give up my U.S.
Well, your green card is still valid at this point.
Yes, and because I have a home in Oklahoma City that I rent out to my youngest son. He's also a Canadian with a permanent residency status. And I usually complete a U.S. tax return every year since I receive overrides and when I was working in the States. And now that I'm living here in Manitoba, which is where I want to be, should I go back to the U.S. and get my U.S. citizenship if I should eventually sell my house?
Okay, you've got sort of two choices. You can fill in a form called an I-131. And you have to renew an I-131.
Okay.
And the I-131 is a form that you have to fill in every year, or sometimes they'll give it to you for 3 years, but it is a form that gives you re-entry into the U.S. and keeps your green card alive. The most that I have ever kept somebody's green card alive before they went back to the States was 8 years.
Okay.
We've done lots of them for 4 or 5 years, and the person decided, I'm never going to go back to the States.
Okay.
And they'd let it go. But you know how long it took you and how hard it was to get the green card in the first place. And whatever it took you in '84 is going to be 10 times harder in 2014 or 2011. So if you keep your green card, though, you have to keep on filing a U.S. tax return for as long as you have the green card. And if you get U.S. citizenship, you have to file a U.S. tax return for as long as you're a U.S. citizen. But my answer to you is, and I'm 67. Now, you're not from Winnipeg in the first place, I take it?
No.
Okay. Can I ask what province you are from?
Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan. Well, I lived in Regina and Saskatoon and Yorkton as well.
Saskatoon,
yeah. Well, you're 60. Do you remember the Louis Riel?
Yes. I spent about half my life in the States, and I worked overseas for about 4 years.
All right. Well, I used to own the Louis Riel in Saskatoon, too.
Oh, yeah.
Way back when, at the very end of its life. And, that's where Joni Mitchell, when she was Joni Anderson, and used to walk down the street in her black leather outfits with her axe over her shoulder and do her singing. Anyway, long story. Okay. And I was a partner in Bill's Gulf Steakhouse in Saskatoon as well at one time.
Oh, wow.
Small world, right? Or Bill was my partner anyway, making Bill Gulf. And was it Dog and Suds out on the highway was Peter Gulf.
I worked there.
Yeah, you worked there? You're kidding.
No, I worked at, there was a Dog and Suds.
You worked for Peter Gulf?
I don't know what his name was, but you had to make money somehow.
Okay, well, that's good.
The best deal going.
Anyway, my advice to you is that if you want to be able to go back to the States whenever you want to, and stay as long as you want, et cetera, you should go back right now, get your U.S. citizenship, and then come back to Canada. And then you're free, white, and 63 years old, whatever. You can come and go as you please. You've got dual citizenship, and 90% of the population of the world would give their right little finger in the right hand or something or more to get dual citizenship. So you got citizenship in two of the greatest countries in the world. And if you've got a son, has he got children?
One does.
Okay. So you've got two sons in the States?
Yes.
Okay. If you want to be able to go down and join the kids are likely U.S. citizens, are they?
No, they're still permanent residents. They haven't made that choice.
Well, wait a minute now. Your sons are permanent residents.
Yes, both of them are.
But about their children, are they not born in the
married
States?
to an American, so
The children are American citizens.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was talking about.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Your sons, in my opinion, should get their U.S. citizenship too.
Okay.
Because if they get their citizenship, they've got this great thing. They don't have to renew their green card every 5 years or every 10 years. They're not subject to being kicked out of the country because they decide to change the law or something. They can vote in the elections. And if there's anything I regret is that I didn't back in 64, 63, when I could have got U.S. citizenship easily, I didn't do it.
Okay.
Okay? Now, that doesn't mean that you should and have to. Can I ask a question? Why did you come back to Canada?
My partner was here, and we've been jumping from country to country for so many years, and then after my son turned 30, I realized that, hey, I raised him to be very independent and to not worry, and since my husband did pass away about 10 years ago, the cushion for mother not being around has subsided, and so I thought, well, maybe it's time for me now to go on. And then my family, the rest of my family is here in Canada.
Okay, because I just had another lady not 3 days ago who has a lovely waterfront house on the Red River leave to go down to Texas. Okay?
God, who would want to go to Texas?
Well, they're going to go live in Dallas.
Oh, give them no
And that's
way.
only, 125 miles from Oklahoma City?
3 hours. 3 hours south.
3 hours? Yeah, 150 miles, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is what we do. We move around the world, right?
Yeah. Yes,
I'm sitting in a house that I've lived in since December 10th, 1969, and that's 40 years, 6 wives. I mean, it's nuts.
Okay.
All right? Don't ask me for marital advice, but you sound like you got a good sense of humor. If I were you, I would get my U.S. citizenship because you can. This is the time to do it. Once you've been out of the country for 10 months or so, your time frame's going to go and you can't do it.
Yeah.
And you say you have a partner in Winnipeg?
Yes.
Okay. And does he have a green card too?
No. He wouldn't be able to work. He tried working down there, but...
And how old is this partner?
51.
Okay. Oh, you're a cougar too.
Okay.
All right. Hey, we're laughing with you. You see, what you want is one of our U.S.-Canadian flags. You see these mixed flags we got hanging in the background?
Yes. How did you get that?
Well, I actually got 3,000 of them. There. Yeah, I got 3,000 of them made in China just a little while ago. Isn't that cool?
I was wondering when I first saw that. I thought, where on earth did you get those flags?
Yeah, I got them made, and we just did a motorcycle run, a couple of hundred motorcycles down to the Peace Arch in Vancouver on September the 11th with a bunch of motorcycle riding police and paramedics and fire and ambulance people in Vancouver.
Oh, fantastic.
And,
another part of my question in my email was doing my tax return.
Well, that's what we do. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know how did you find us? What were you looking for on the internet?
Everything. I was going all over, and it wasn't until about a week ago, and I read all your archived letters and trying to find a situation, and I could feel most of your emails were saying, get your citizenship. You know? And I was wondering, why does he place such a big importance on this thing? It's like, I did my job in the States. I helped my kids get their college, university education, and everything else, and now I was ready, but I still have a home there, and I know I want to sell it, perhaps, or I always go down there and stay in there when I visit my grandchildren, so I was kind of in a predicament, and I didn't know exactly how to approach it.
It just
so-
makes it so much easier if you get your citizenship.
Okay, well.
And that'll be, you're 60 years old, you're likely going to live to be 92, you'll be a real old bat, and you know, it'll be a pain in the neck not being able to go across the border when you want to.
Awesome.